everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm your host, Lasan Faye, and today, we're gonna take back the Alarei. So, that all being said, let us go.
Tali, Zora, and Hafara are out of control. This is on their heads.
Lovely. Any commentary? Of course, after I walk away.
Tali, Zora, Vas Nima. Oh, sorry. I mean Vas Normandy.
No offense taken. The change in name was not my choice.
Per Admiral Rand's orders, the shuttle is prepared for you and Captain Shepard Vas Normandy.
Can you tell us anything about what we'll find on the Alarei?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Not many Marines made it back from the initial assault. They talked about massive waves of Geth, though. More than there should have been.
There shouldn't have been any at all.
Right. I mean that they're afraid the Geth are building or repairing more of themselves from materials on the Alarei.
Good to know.
Let's head to the Alarei.
Of course. I'll unlock the shuttle now. Good luck with those Geth, Tali, Zora. Kila Selai.
And off we go. Alright. Making sure that I... Yep, okay. Good. Make sure Garrus has his good ammo. And away we go.
Incoming!
Nah, I forgot. Reload.
Deploying combat drone.
Never saw me coming!
Okay, you get that. All right. Yep, I need credits.
Something's slowing down the systems. We're taking down the firewalls to rebalance load distribution. Zora ordered us to bypass standard safeties. Following security protocols will take too long.
What exactly is meant by too long? Okay. Okay, yep, that's it. Okay, ah, damn it. There. I was trying to hit up and it wouldn't let me, so... Okay.
This is one of the storage units I sent to Father. Looks like parts from a disabled repair drone, plus a reflex algorithm that I didn't recognize. I got this on Haystrom.
What made a part worth sending back to your father?
It had to be in working order, something that could be analyzed and integrated into other technology. Anything new had priority. Technology the Geth had developed themselves, signs of modification, clues to their thinking.
Okay.
How did you get these things to your father?
Sometimes I left packages at secure drops in civilized areas. Someone on pilgrimage would see that it was shipped home. For very valuable finds, I'd signal home, and Father would send a small ship.
Haystrom was a war zone. How did you salvage gear in the middle of all that?
These suits have more pockets than you'd think. Quarians have learned how to salvage whatever we can, whenever we can. Within reason. We're not Vorcha, but we repair what most people would throw away. Hundreds of the ships in our fleet were salvaged wrecks, either found dead in space or purchased for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Does that salvaged gear give you a clue as to what happened here?
No, I don't know. Shepard, I checked everything I sent here. I passed up great finds because they might be too dangerous, prone to uncontrolled reactivation or self-repair. I don't know which possibility is worse. That I got sloppy and sent something dangerous, or that Father actually did all this.
Yeah.
Who's running the system diagnostic? I didn't authorize... Oh, Keela. How many Geth are networked?
All of them. Rail Zora.
Shut it down! Shut everything down! They're in the system!
Okay. That's the way forward. So we look in this door. Alright. Hey. Wow, they've thrown water. Here we go. Red blocks in that one?
I'll take it.
Yeah. Alright.
Weapons ready.
Really? That's it? Okay. Wow. Lots of short paths on this one. Which is admittedly nice. Alright, you two.
We locked down navigation. Weapons are offline. Our mistake won't endanger the fleet. They're burning through the door. I don't have much time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Jonah, if you get this, be strong for Daddy. Mommy loves you very much.
Hostile!
Garrus! You're in my shot. Tali. Let's do something. Let's give ourselves some allies. Gosh darn it. Tali, get off the upper ledge.
There we go!
Okay. That's it? That's it? Okay. Good. Right? Aha! Did I find you when I played this for the first time? Alright, wall save. Alrighty. What do we have?
This console might have something. Most of the data is corrupted, but a few bits are left.
Well, let's see.
They were performing experiments on Geth systems, looking for new ways to overcome Geth resistance to reprogramming.
Do you think testing weapons on the Geth was right?
It's not testing weapons on prisoners, Shepard. I only sent Father parts. Even if he assembled them, they wouldn't be sapient. You saw what Saren and Sovereign did with the Geth. Any research that gives us an advantage is important.
Did you know what kind of tests your father was running?
No, Father just told me to send back any Geth technology I could find that wasn't a direct danger to the fleet. I suspected he might be testing weapons, but I thought he was just working on new ways to bypass shields or armor.
Okay.
Could any of that data clear your name?
Doubtful. This is mostly results data, effects of different disruptive hacking techniques. I don't understand all of it. But they may have been activating the Geth deliberately. I don't know. Nothing here says specifically, but if they were, then Father was doing something terrible. What was all this, Father? You promised you'd build me a house on the homeworld. Was this going to bring us back home?
Actually, no, Shepard would understand that.
You'll reclaim your homeworld someday, Tali. If your father can't help you, I will.
Taking back our planet would only be the beginning. We'd have to cannibalize our fleet to rebuild cities and infrastructure. It would take generations of gene therapy to readapt our immune system so we could live without suits again. We'd be adapting our entire culture. Again. Sometimes I wonder if it's actually worth it.
What, to have a home? Yeah?
If you don't take back your home, the Geth win.
I won't let that happen. Not today. Not ever. At the very least, we can take back one ship. Come on.
Yep. Alright. Doopy-doo.
eat this.
All right. Okay. Got everything? I think we did. Alright, that's where I came from. Nothing over here. More laptops, I like those. Oh, loud buzzing, loud buzzing.
First entry. Our hacking attempts failed. The Geth have an adaptive consciousness. Hack one process and the others autocorrect. Still, we're making progress. Rail Zora is convinced we'll have a viable system in less than a year. This weapon will put our people back on the homeworld, and it's all because of Rail Zora.
Thoughts? Yeah.
Father! No. You always had a plan. Masked life signs or an onboard medical stasis program, maybe. You wouldn't. They're wrong. You wouldn't just die like this. You wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Hey, come here.
Yep. Nope. Yeah.
Damn it.
I will always
Damn it.
give Tali a hug.
I'm
for her.
sorry.
Like, I'll always
You've
give her
got
a hug.
nothing to be sorry about.
Maybe
I can't not.
he would have known I'd come. Maybe he left a message.
No.
Tali, if you are listening, then I am dead. The Geth have gone active. I don't have much time. Their main hub will be on the bridge. You'll need to destroy it to stop their VI processes from forming new neural links. Make sure Hangerel and Daro Zen see the data. They must.
Thanks, Dad.
He knew you'd come for him. He was trying to help you. It's not perfect. It's not what you wanted. But it's the best he could do.
I don't know what's worse. Thinking he never really cared, or thinking that he did, and that this was the only way he could show it. It doesn't matter. One way or the other, I cared. And I'm here. And we're ending this.
Agreed. Okay, yep. Oh, yay, another bypass. Alright. There's that. And one more for the road. Okay. All right. Whew. Quick save. Alright,
Can do. Ahead of us. This should soften them up.
boom.
Got hostile drones.
Got you.
Okay. Crap. Forgot to clear her so that way she would get some cover. Alright, you get to that, end of that.
Fire in the hole.
And a lot of this. Okay. Alright.
This console is linked to the main hub Father mentioned. Disabling it shut down any Geth we missed. It looks like some of the recordings remained intact. They'll tell us how this happened, what Father did.
You sound like you don't really want to hear it.
No. We have to. I know. This is terrible, Shepard. I don't want to know that he was part of this.
Let's...
Do we have enough parts to bring more online? Yes, the new shipment from your daughter will let us add 2 more Geth to the network.
We're nearing a breakthrough on systemic viral attacks. Perhaps we should inform the Admiralty Board, just to be safe.
No, we're too close. I promised to build my daughter a house on the home world. I'm not going to sit and wait while the politicians argue. We'd have an easier time of it if Tali Zora could send back more working material. Absolutely not. I don't want Tali exposed to any political blowback. Leave Tali out of this. Assemble new Geth with what we have. Bypass security protocols if need be.
It sounds like he was doing this for you.
I never wanted this, Shepard. Keela, I never wanted this. Everything here is his fault. I tried to pretend it didn't point to him, but this... When this comes up in the trial, they'll... We can't tell them. Not the admirals, not anyone.
Tali, without this evidence, you're looking at exile.
You think I don't know that? You think I want to live knowing that I can never see the fleet again? But I can't go back into that room and say that my father was the worst war criminal in our people's history. I cannot.
I'm not going with that one right now.
We're not going to decide anything here. Let's see what the Admirals say once we get back.
You're my captain in this hearing, Shepard. It's your decision. But please, don't destroy what my father was. Come on. If we wait too long, they'll decide we're already dead, and none of this will matter.
Yeah, well... About that... Try an absentia.
We need to face facts. There has been no word. There is no reason to think Tali Zora survived.
Sounds like the hearing is already underway.
We must trust Shepard's offer of assistance. It's only been a few hours.
The Quarian Marines lasted less than 5 minutes, Admiral. Call it.
A pity Shepard passed on to be a better speaker and soldier. I recommend posthumously exiling Tali Zora.
What? It was agreed that Tali Zora would not be... Very well. Is the Admiralty Board prepared to render judgment?
Hello.
Sorry we're late.
Tali Zora Vas Normandy saved the Alarei. I hope this proves her loyalty to the Quarian people.
Her loyalty was never in doubt, only her judgment.
Perhaps Tali Zora can offer something to encourage more trust in her judgment.
Did you find anything on the Alarei that could clarify what happened there?
Well,
Shepard, please.
Does Captain Shepard have any new evidence to submit to this hearing?
oh. Hey, I didn't lock myself out of either choice. And actually, I kind of want to see the one that I haven't taken before. And I think it would fit. As well, from the perspective of this trial really wasn't about Tali at all. It was about whether or not they'd go to war.
Tali's achievements are the only evidence you should need. Come on, Tali. We're leaving.
What?
This is a formal proceeding.
Wrong, Admiral. This is a sham. You're trying to build sympathy for the Geth to forestall the war effort.
That is complete.
And you want all the messy experiments covered up so you can throw your fleet at the Geth. Do whatever you want with your toy ships, but leave my crew out of your political bullshit. We have no new evidence. You can accept Tali's word, or you can exile the woman who saved the Citadel from the Geth.
Are the admirals prepared to render the judgment?
Yes.
Tali Zora, in light of your history of service, we do not find sufficient evidence to convict. You are cleared of all charges.
Oh. Ah.
Commander Shepard, please accept these gifts in appreciation for you taking the time to represent one of our people.
I am not going to push an agenda one way or another there.
With all due respect, Admiral, I didn't represent one of your people. I represented one of mine.
So you did, Shepard.
This hearing is concluded. Go in peace, Tali Zora Vas Normandy. Kila Solai.
I can't believe you pulled that off. What you said. It's been a while since anyone shouted down the Admiralty Board. I think it was good for them. Thank
Probably.
you for being there for my father and me. Even when... Thank you.
Well, you can still go back in and get you exiled if you want.
Thanks. But I'm fine with things like this. It's fun watching you shout.
Tali, about what your father said, what he did. You deserve better.
I got better, Shepard. I got you.
Oh.
Come on, Tali Zora Vas Normandy. Let's get back to our ship.
Thank you, Captain.
Now what's this?
Yay. Alright. Gosh, I'm not used to having renegade points.
Tali and Shepard are good at killing synthetics. Glad they're on our side.
Damn, Shepard, been a while since I saw anyone rail at the admirals like that. Guess they can't court-martial you, though. Glad
True.
they're off your back, ma'am. And that you didn't have to give them that evidence you found on the Alarei.
I didn't say anything about finding evidence, Cop.
Noticed that, ma'am.
Any idea what your next assignment's gonna be?
I'm I'm gonna be escorting more techs around to look for signs of dark energy buildup. Maybe see if they can figure out what's causing it. Wherever they send me, it'll have to be less exciting than Haystrom.
What's your take on the war? Are the Admirals going to try to retake the homeworld?
I won't shy away from a fight, but if the Admirals throw the fleet at the Geth, all they'll get back is scrap metal. The best bet would be for us to find another way. But a soldier can't say unless his superiors ask.
Stay safe out there, Rieger.
Yeah.
You too, Shepard. Ma'am.
Carl, just call me Tali.
I'll work on that, ma'am.
Yes. I know I couldn't.
Hello again, Commander. Good luck, Tali.
Very impressive speech, Commander Shepard. But tell me truly, did you recover any of Rael Zora's research on the Alarei?
Nothing that will help you, Admiral.
Pity. Oh well. Whatever is created can be recreated. In any event, I am pleased that our talk regarding the war conundrum allowed you to help Tali. Her exile would have been unfortunate.
I don't really have an opinion at the moment, or on how Shepard would approach this. I think he would just bow out.
Goodbye, Admiral.
To be perfectly honest.
The Alarei was a good stuff, but there are lots more Geth out there that need killing.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking on even bigger machines. Ron, we'll talk to you later.
I knew they wouldn't exile Tali, Zora.
You?
Very impressive, Shepard. Thank you for your help on the Alarei. And thank you for helping Rael Zora's daughter. You stood for her when we failed. We were wrong to let our own concerns about the war overshadow Tali's trial.
Alright.
Goodbye, Admiral.
Not going to give input about a war.
You called us on the carpet out there, Shepard, and you were right. Thank you. Tali shouldn't have been involved in that argument. Tell me, though, honestly, what did you find over there? You spoke well, but I know a feint when I see it.
Yep.
Tali, is there anything the Admiral should know?
We found a lot of dead bodies, Admiral. Including my father's, that's all. Whatever research they were doing was destroyed.
I'll take your word for it, Tali. Not that I have much choice. Fight well, and fly safe, kid. Your father would be proud of you.
Alright. And Ron?
The Admirals thought they were humbling you by forcing you to represent her, Shepard. I'm glad they were wrong. You didn't mention survivors. Did you find real Tali? I am sure he would have left you a message if he'd had time.
We found Rael's body. He left a message for Tali.
I can only imagine how horrible this is for you, child. But at least you got to hear your father tell you he loved you.
Yes. Thank you, Admiral.
Good luck on your mission. No matter how dark it gets, the fleet is always with you. Kill us alive.
Alright, and...
The talk of war gives me hope. Maybe we can retake the whole world in my lifetime.
Who knows?
I can't believe Tali and her captain took back the Alarei.
We're that good.
Congratulations, Tali Zora. I was skeptical about your choice in captains, but I see now that I was wrong.
Thank you, Captain. I'm just glad that this is over.
You'll always have a place on the Raya, whenever you decide to come home. Good luck out there.
Alright, well. Let us go home.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
And feed the fish. Oh, boy. Alright, well, I think this is a good place to go ahead and leave this episode. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And in the meantime, in between time, take care, have fun, and happy trails.